The following is a presentation of the Belly Up Sports Media Network.
Hey guys, it's Daniel Smooth from Time to BS. Now, don't lie. I know you want some great deals on those events you go to, like your Jonas Brothers concerts or Met games or stuff like that. Wait, did I say Jonas Brothers concert? Anyway, so that's why at Belly Up, we have partnered up with SeatGeek. Use the promo code BellyUpSports at all caps at SeatGeek.com to get $20 off your first purchase. Now that is a sweet deal. Don't forget, promo code BellyUpSports at all caps at SeatGeek.com.
It's time to BS.
Oh boy. Well, with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another edition of Time to Be. Wait a minute. Wrong thing. Fourth time's a charm, I guess. So without further ado, welcome to the Sports Game, ladies and gentlemen, part of Time to BS with Daniel Smooth, and coming to you from the beaches of lovely Long Island, New York, part of the Belly Up Sports and Belly Up Media Network. I am Daniel Smooth. Welcome to the cave, ladies and gentlemen. How this works is I ask a series of questions, and I, or a potential guest, will try our very best to answer in the most ESPN Gas Baggy way possible but not without a little smart-ass remarks. Throw some topics in there. These will usually go pretty quick. But this is something I've wanted to do, is do like another quick show, just to get, some itty-gritty details off the back and shit like that. Just have some fun. Because that's what I like to do. I like to have some fun with this. I like to have fun with my show. I like to have fun with, you all listening. But, I appreciate all the support. I appreciate the subscribers to the YouTube channel. And without further ado, let's get on with it, shall we? First topic of the new Sports Cave. Buffalo has traded Stefon Diggs to the Houston Texans. What will have a bigger impact? The Stefon Diggs less Bills, or the Houston Texans acquiring Stefon Diggs? I saw this trade, and part of me was like, what is Buffalo doing? And then I looked at the rest of the roster, and I said to myself, okay. Like, they're still okay. Like, Mac Hollins, Curtis Samuel, who they just signed. Excuse me. They still got a pretty good looking roster. I mean, and the big part of it is that it's Josh Allen. I think Buffalo will be fine. They needed to do something to get out of that contract because, good fucking Lord, it was terrible. It was so bad. But let's go to the Texans side. So Houston finished last season as AFC South champions, and now they added Stefon Diggs to the fold. Receiving core is Tank Dell, John Mechie, Nico Hollins, Noah Brown, Robert Woods, and now you add Stefon Diggs into that equation. They've had a really good offseason. They added Joe Mixon there too. I think this benefits Houston a lot more because you're like, oh, Texans are going for it. They're really trying to go for it here. They really are. And that's nice. We like these things. And I don't think Houston makes this deal unless they're really, really, really confident that Stroud's going to make the sophomore jump. They got a really good offensive line. Their defense is hit or miss, depending on who you ask. But, like, they can have a really good... their defense goes hot and cold sometimes. But They could have beaten Baltimore in the divisional round and advanced their first AFC title game in franchise history, but that didn't happen because Lamar cheat code. I'm not going to make predictions right now because it's still really early. We have to get through the draft. But Nick Caserio, we were pounding this guy. Pounding him. For the incompetent trades, the shitty moves, and then he's like, watch this bitch. Proceeds to trade for one of the better receivers in football. I think the Texans are by default AFC South favorites. And it appears to me that they might go defense for a majority of their draft. I mean, we will see. They have to get better on defense. The offense is fine. That's no argument there, but they got to still continue to fix that defense. Now, adding Danielle Hunter certainly helps, but at the same point, I mean, they got to fix that defense. So, this benefits Houston more. Over in the NHL department, the Vancouver Canucks currently, as we're recording, have 102 points and have already clinched the playoff spot in the Western Conference Pacific Division. They're currently the number 2 seed in the entire West, and for a majority of the time, they have led the NHL in goal differential, with the majority of the time being a plus 56 goal differential. They've been unbelievable. Like, they've just been surprising as hell this season. Dallas currently is the number 1 seed in the West, but I'm going to ask this question. Are the Canucks Cup favorites? It's the NHL, so anything's possible. I mean, we had Florida beat Boston in round 1 last year and go all the way to the final. Let's not forget that infamous Oilers team that made it to Game 7 of the Stanley Cup final against Carolina. Let's not forget that. Anything's possible. Anything's possible. If Vancouver's going to get there, Thatcher Demko's been good. They're scoring goals left and right, and Rick Tocchet's been a great hire for them. He's been such a good hire for them this season. They have to. The Pacific is the Pacific. In that side, they really realistically have to worry about Vegas because I think they're going to play Vegas round 1. That's their biggest obstacle to defending champions. And from there, it's like, okay, you might have Edmonton, you might have LA, or Vegas, depending on who you ask, or Nashville. They might play Nashville round 1. Nashville just lost yesterday to the Islanders via shutout. And then from there, it's Dallas, Colorado, Winnipeg. It's the Central. I don't make predictions, but if I were to say who is my pick to represent the West, I would go Vancouver. I told a buddy of mine, I said, Vancouver and Carolina, that's my cup pick. I'd be very, I can't speak. Vancouver has looked really good. And then Carolina, if not for the Rangers, they're the best team in the East. Next topic, a rare basketball question. Who is the bigger favorite in the NBA's Western Conference? Minnesota or OKC? I'm going to shout out my boy John. Big Thunder fan. I'm not going to lie, I haven't seen a lot of basketball this season. I probably watched like 3 games. So part of me does not know why I wrote this question down, but judging by the standings and judging by the point differential and the points and the opposing points per game, I want to say Oklahoma City. They're young and hungry, and I think they can make a run. Part of me also thinks Minnesota because I know about Karl Anthony Towns and Anthony Edwards. And they can ball. By the way, can we appreciate the Timberwolves? Because do you know how long it's been since they've been this good? It's been a long time. And Oklahoma City, God bless them. I think OKC is going to, push the new mold on how to build NBA teams. Through drafting and no superstar built and no superstars. Let's be honest here. They do not have, they have SGA, but, that's it. That's it. They don't have, a Steph Curry or a Kevin Durant, shout out to the Thunder, or, they don't have that. Instead, they're relying on their young talent to push them far. Sam Presti looks like a fucking genius. This man looks like a effing genius by the way he's been building this team. He basically took the process by Sam Hinkie and actually made the Thunder really good. Really good. Not a perpetual turnstile that Philadelphia is. Speaking of, the Sixers are currently 8th in the Eastern Conference. Just throwing that out there. They're an 8 seed. Okay? Just throwing that out there. And then Minnesota. Minnesota's an interesting one. Because I'm like, Minnesota, how do they look? What? How are they this good? And then you're like, oh yeah. Gobert's there. Conley's there. Jaden McDaniels is there. They got a good starting 5. McDaniels is really good. He's really good. And then Gobert with Towns, that big 1-2 punch at big man, has been excellent. They've been excellent. They have to compete with Denver, though. They got to compete with the Nuggets, the defending champions. The defending bullshit champions, as we call them. We don't call them that. I just said that to make myself sound like a gas bag. Thunder. I think they're the bigger West favorite. They just seem more hungry, and you can't count on Rudy Gobert. you can't count on the. I don't know. Honestly, this is a toss up for me. I want to say Minnesota because it's been so long since they've been this good, but then Oklahoma City just looked so good. But we'll see come playoff time, ladies and gentlemen. Mark your calendars. Two-parter for the NHL. Bigger favorite in the East, the Rangers, Boston, Florida, or Carolina. I got the Hurricanes. I got the Hurricanes or the Rangers. One of those two. The Rangers need to avoid the President's Trophy at all costs, because that thing is cursed. I think we can pretty much determine that trophy is cursed. Carolina, they're so good. The Hurricanes look so good. Florida's been on a tear, though. The Panthers have been on a fucking tear. And then there's Boston. You really got to count on Boston, but it's I don't know. It's just something seems off about them. Something seems really off about the Bruins. What team has been a bigger disappointment in the NHL this season? New Jersey, by far. New Jersey by effing far. You cannot deny that a team that had Stanley Cup aspirations, just for God's sakes, they can't do shit, right? By the way, can we just throw this out there that the Islanders have a negative 23 goal differential, and they're currently in third place in the Metro. That makes no sense to me. Coaching matters, ladies and gentlemen. But yeah, New Jersey, they fired Lindy Ruff. Travis Green's their interim head coach. Good God, they're just a mess. They are just an absolute mess. Tom Fitzgerald, I like Fitzy. I do think Fitzy's done a good job. But he better turn this around or he's going to lose a lot of key pieces. Is Jack Hughes a free agent? Hold on. When is Jack Hughes a free agent. Contract is set to expire after the 2030 he signed an 8-year deal. Good. Please. Oh my god. I was about to say if I didn't know he signed that contract, I've been not keeping track of this shit. That's on me. Wow. Just wow. Finally, football. What are the expectations for the Bengals in 2024? What do you predict? They'll be better. They should be better. A lot of it last season was the fact that Joe Burrow got hurt. Joe Burrow got hurt, and the Bengals were just not the same. They got to re-sign T. Higgins. Bring back Taj Boyd. Bring back those two. Just bring them back and they'll be fine. Or they could draft a receiver round one and just keep Tyler Boyd. One of those two. But Cincinnati signed Trent Brown, Mike Gesicki, Zach Moss, Sheldon Rankins, Von Bell, and Geno Stone in free agency. They make these really sneaky good moves. They're just like, oh, they look really good. And then, like, Gesicki's solid. I've liked him coming out of Penn State. And Trent Brown, I don't know how the hell he left New England, but, you know, the Patriots stink. But how long has it been since we've been able to say that? Joe Burrow needs to stay healthy and they'll be fine. Simple shit. Simple shit. Joe Burrow needs to stay healthy this season and they'll be fine. They should be better. They should be better by how much is the question. Because they got the Ravens to compete with, and that's it. You can't really count on Pittsburgh or Cleveland. No matter how hard you try. You just can't. Just everything looks like a disaster. Shit's hitting the fan. Everything's a mess. Nothing is sacred. The football gods show no mercy. Amen. No, but Cincinnati's got to re-sign T. Higgins like pronto. And they also got to re-sign Tyler Boyd. I almost said Taj Boyd. Tyler Boyd. Excuse me. But yeah, I mean, we'll see. They should be a favorite. They could compete for realistically a 2 seed in the AFC. Again, I'm not making predictions. I don't want to because that makes me sound like a gas bag. I don't want to do that. I just want to be, you know, all right. My kind of thing. Whatever. Speaking of gas bag, what will Russell Wilson's impact on the Steelers be? Will they be better or worse? Oh, boy. So Russell Wilson was released from his massive and mammoth 5-year deal from the Broncos. Signs a 1-year deal with the Steelers. And peeps are immediately going, the Steelers are Super Bowl contenders. Like, what? What? Like, what are you talking about? Okay. I am a Seahawk fan, as we very well know. The Steelers are my dad's team. So I have some Steeler love in there, and then the Jets, you know, fill in the blank. Thanks, Mom. But, no, I part of me wants to say Pittsburgh looks good. I mean, they traded for Dante Jackson. They signed Van Jefferson, Quez Watkins, Deshaun Elliott, Patrick Queen, Dean Lowry, Cordell Patterson, and, of course, Russell Wilson. I'm just going to say it. Nothing will change until Mike Tomlin is gone. The Steelers will still be incompetent. They will still be stupid in their decision-making. Sorry about that noise, but, like, it's just, for God's sakes. This Steeler way dates back to the 80s. Excuse me, the 60s, if you want to go further. That's 60 years ago. You're dating something that goes back to the days of Chuck Noll. I know they don't fire coaches, but Pittsburgh is not going to do anything anything until Mike Tomlin is gone. You know, I know I argue about Pete Carroll being the most incompetent coach because of his old school decision making, but Jesus Christmas, Tomlin makes things sound worse because it's like his cliches just, oh my God, dude. And you're running an offense that dates back to the 90s. And I know Arthur Smith is a good offensive coordinator, not a great head coach, but a decent offensive coordinator. But do you really expect Pittsburgh to do anything until Tomlin is gone? Let's be real. Russell Wilson helps. He helps, but he's not the same. What did Russ in is that he fell in love with himself, he fell in love with the deep ball, and he thought he was bigger than the team. And that got him in trouble twice. Most notably with the Seahawks. That's how the divorce happened. That's how that happened with Russell Wilson in Seattle. He thought he was bigger than the team, when he's not. Nothing will change in Pittsburgh until Mike Tomlin is fired. There you go. Well, with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, that'll do it for this edition of the Sports Cave. Thank you for tuning in. Quick show, as I said it would possibly be. My name is Daniel Stewart. Don't forget to follow the show on TikTok, Twitter, Instagram, Threads, Facebook, YouTube, shit, whatever. Good pods as well. Time to BS with Daniel Smooth. It was fun. I like this. You know, coming if you're in the lovely beaches of Long Island, New York. My name is Daniel Smooth. And I will see you all in this life or the next one. Thanks for joining the cave, guys.